Well, everybody, sweet, beautiful everybody. We can actually begin the season now that I've sorted out these rosters. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. We have sorted out our rosters. So really quickly, I am going to showcase your roster, and then that way, you guys can tell me who you would like to have on the trade block to start this season. At catcher, it was voted on by you, Joel Donnelly, Adrian Del Castillo. So you do have Acosta, Andy Yerzy in AAA. That's about it. You could put Del Castillo on the block. I don't know if you'd have any success. You got Torkelson, Campillo at first base, of course, which is beautiful. Cintrone is probably not going to be your starting second baseman. He might have to be. I don't know if you have anybody that you can move over. Richard Calvert at third. Kenny Cho can play second. You can make the call right now if you want to put Kenny Cho at second base. He might get played there regardless. We can check. And then you got Jordan Lawler, Ryan Bliss, who can also play second. So I highly doubt it puts Cintrone at second base. Then the outfield, Becerra, McAlpin. Shout out to my buddy Dave. Let's go ahead and turn those off. Oh, let's see. You got Becerra, McAlpin, Carroll, Thomas, McCarthy. Again, I don't really know if anyone's going to have much value there in terms of trade value. So, seeing Kenny on second, Bliss on second. We'll see what it does. And then pitching staff-wise, Doss, Carvajal, Wood, Jarvis, Roush, and Wheat. A lot of major league caliber dudes that are in the system. And then the bullpen as well. So again, I don't really know if you'd have anybody that you'd want to put on the trade block right now. It's more so just kind of see what the hell happens. Your pitching rotation officially looks like this. With Doss, Carvajal, Wood, Roush, Jarvis, Wheat, the long reliever. You got Moya, Gill, Louis St. Louis, Jonathan Brown, Alex Reyes, and Johan Mercado. The back end of the pen. Which is just a gross back end for the bullpen. And then lineup-wise... So yeah, Cintrone doesn't play second. Carroll, McCarthy, Torkelson, Becerra, Thomas, Lawler, Calvert, Donnelly, and Bliss. So it does put Bliss at second. So hopefully Cho ends up getting to play a little bit for you guys this year. I'm sure he will. You know, especially if Calvert struggles. And yeah, there you go. Against lefties, Cho is the one that's in. So, you guys are set up pretty well. You were set up pretty well while we're here. We'll take a look at the old Oakland Athletics, who hopefully won't suck ass this year. Villalobos, Reyes, Acuna, Devers, Davis, Soderstrom, Harrison, Wynn, and Fernandez against righties. With Gehringer, Park, Langeliers, Medrano, and Stone. And then the lefties, Harrison gets in. It is putting Juan Fernandez in right. That scares me a little bit, but at least he does get to play. And then the pitching rotation. It is Benitez, Hoagland, Cohen, Cusick, and May. Tommy Tucker is the long reliever. Got Cross, Waikos, Wood, Munoz, Foster, and the Crochet. So, one of us should be able to make the damn playoffs at the very least, if not both of us. I don't really think either of us have to super focus on the trade block. Like, at this point, I'm probably even going to just try to keep Shea. I tried to trade him all of last year. I mean, Zach Galoff cleared waivers for me, so I can't imagine he has any trade value. So it's just kind of see what happens. And we'll take it from there. The A's ranked 7th. The Diamondbacks ranked 4th. In terms of top prospects. Jose Medrano, for me, is in 6th. Also have Austin Harrison at 18. You guys have Lawrence Ramirez at 35. And that's it. So gone are the days of us having top prospects. Let's see what happens. We shall go to draft day and see what is in store. You guys had a friggin' incredible start to last season. So I am intrigued. Also, Monk, can you pass the message along that I will be able to bowl with Deke Slayer on his stream tomorrow because my girlfriend won't be home, so I'll have nothing else to do. So there you go. We'll play it on Deek Stream. I don't know if we'll play it on mine. Wow, you guys are terrible again. 29 and 33. I'm at 32. We suck. When did we throw in the towel? Our teams both suck. Oh my god. You also have the Charger. I don't know what that means. Our teams suck, man. Well, it's time for a draft. If you dare want to pick, I mean, here you go, but you never seem to have to switch Charger. Ah, gotcha. To the draft we go. We'll see what happens. I have pick number 15. Let's see what the hell happens here, shall we? So again, here will be the information from my scouts about these players. I'm going to stay over here for now. And again, you guys are a team, so keep that in mind. So for my scouts, they have John Henry, who sucks. He's 22 and apparently 4 years out. You got Damon Watson, who is a project. And that's it. No good catchers, apparently. First base, terrible, 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 terrible. Gavin Newhouser as a project. And Preston Harris is also a project based off of age and ETA. Second base, David Guzman, who is apparently going to be ready next year. That is what his stats look like. He's obviously the best player so far. He's okay. He's okay. 22, 4 years out. 19, 4 years out. Gets. He is a project. 20 and apparently 4 years out for Blaine Shaw. Also a project. 19 and ready next year. Jacob McDermott, who has a glorious mullet. I don't believe that he's actually going to be that good. Hello, Deke Slayer. It is good to see you. Yeah, I don't believe he's actually going to. I don't believe he's actually going to be that good. He's the last good second baseman. Third base. Hello, Staniel. Stan Cortez, 22, 3 years away. Okay. He's okay as well. He's okay as well. Interesting. 19, 4 years away. Bastar, who is a project. 21. I mean, this Lloyd's 19 and 4 years away. He's a project. 19 and 4 years away for Esposito. He is a project. Evan Cooper, 19 and 4 years away. He is a project. Shortstop, Richard Herrera. He is 21 and apparently ready next year. But a rather risky pick because it's incomplete. Terrible, terrible. Then you got Nettles and Clark, who are both projects. In the outfield, I mean, Gregory, Gutierrez, both projects. I mean, you can risk it, I guess. This is, yeah, this is shaping up to be another rather disappointing draft. Center field, you got Guzman, also a project. Fernando Mendoza is 21, apparently ready next year. Looking decent at the plate. There's Law, who's trash. An Enright, 20 years old, good potential, but 4 years out. Is McGinnis, who is risky. 18 and ready in 3 years, Daryl Manning. Also risky because of the reports. Aside from that, nobody else. Good lord. For closers, it's looking pretty good. Willard Ramirez, 22, ready next year. Nunez, 20 or 19 and ready next year, and then Munoz is 24 and apparently ready next year. In terms of actual relievers, Todd Little, too big of a risk. There's Lewis Stacy, who's okay. He's a project again. You got Gomez, who's risky as hell. And then Jimmy Marlin. Jimmy Marlin. 19 and apparently ready next year. He is a Florida man. In terms of starter, TJ St. Louis. Also known as TJ St. Louis. You also got Pablo Santiago. Sebastian Nieve. Emil Castro. You got Adrian Green. This is looking like a starting pitcher's draft. Ezra Gonzalez. Also solid. Terry Drew. Miguel Santana. Definitely a draft for starting pitchers. So, with that, it is my pick. It is my pick. And let's see what we got here. What do we got? We actually got quite a few people who are rather interesting. Let's see, Santiago's 19. Munoz is 24. St. Louis, a little bit up there in age. Alright, well, based off of what my scouts are telling me, the top dog in this draft is Pablo Santiago. That is exactly who I am going to risk it for. Welcome, Pablo. You guys get the 27th pick, selected since Jimmy Marlin is off to the Dodgers. So Jimmy Marlin is out of there. You got Gavin Newhouser at first base. Richie Lloyd at third base. Steve Law in center. You got McDermott at second, who is gone. Herrera, the shortstop, is gone. John Henry. Salvador Guzman. I'm losing players off my draft board really fast. Drew Loftus. Derek King. And Stan Cortez is also gone. So for you guys, let's take a look at who your scouts found. For catchers, they actually did find one. Eldon Kelly. 21 years old, apparently ready next year. It's not a big need for you guys. But Eldon Kelly. And then you also have a project in Damon Watson. You could consider Trejo a project if you wanted, but at 20, it's a bit risky. First base. Terrible. That's it. Okay. Second base. You got David Guzman, who is 22 and apparently ready next year. Again, more of a defense first second baseman. I was going to say catcher. Who else do you have? You got Steven Hanojo. Can I move my face cam up an inch? I cannot. If you need to see stats, I will do it afterwards. Because let's be honest, we primarily don't base it off of stats at this point. At this stage of the draft, it's based off of ETA more than anything. So Hanojo, off of that age in ETA, is not that bad. He's solid. You also got Hemphill. Hempel? He's also solid. 21, ready next year. That's it. Third base, David Esposito. Your scouts liked quite a bit compared to mine. The scouts liked quite a bit compared to mine, so we can see the depth chart. I mean, the depth chart isn't cut off at all. What are you talking about? I mean, like, the potential the top guy, sure, but... Fine. I'll just move it. I thought my chat had good vision. I was mistaken. But yeah, Esposito's not bad. Delahanty is probably a bit too much of a project. Bastar is also there. who my scouts had is a bit more of a project. Your scouts have is pretty damn solid. Definitely more of an at-the-plate type of option. Evan Cooper as a project. That's it there. Shortstop. Ken Nettles. Definitely a project. Miguel Cabrera. Well, if Deke Slayer doesn't enter the draft and select him. 20 years old, ready in 2 years. Interesting. Then in left, Gary Sanchez. Who is 20 and apparently ready next year. Gary Sanchez, who has a fantastic contact and is apparently a switch hitter and has a sweet, sweet Jerry curl. Center field, Fernando Mendoza. He's 21. Apparently ready next year. Looking pretty good. Aside from that, nobody else. And then in right, maybe the ultimate risk, Wesley Mason. 24 years old, but apparently ready next year. Wesley Mason. Is he worth the risk as an overager? You got Shea McGinnis, who's a bit of a project. You have Cardenas in right, who is also looking pretty solid at 22 and ready in 2 years. You got a project in Darryl Manning. And another risky pick in Neville Thomas, 25 years old, but apparently ready next year. So there's some risky righties in the outfield. For closers, Henry Aquino, who my scouts did not find, who's looking phenomenal, 20 years old, ready next year. You got Munoz, who's the risk. And then Ramirez, who your scouts do not like as much as mine did. For relievers, not so great. Tom Chang could be pretty damn solid. You also got Brian Yang, who could also be pretty damn solid. Anybody else? Johnny Madsen could be okay. And then for the starters, you have Robbie Ingram, who looks fantastic. Jordan Rosario, who my scouts also didn't find, who looks great. Then it drops a little bit with Ezra Gonzalez. You got Chris Jones as a project. Emil Castro looking pretty good. Acevedo could be a project. You got Pedro Castro. It's also not looking that bad. Again, you got Emil and Pedro Castro. Could be decent. Fiera, not looking that bad either. Reggie Hernandez as a project. So, pretty good draft, actually. This pick belongs to Mr. Dimmadema. Doug Dimmadome, congratulations. Who will it be? Who will it be? That is the question. Who will it be? Who is the player that stands out? Henry Aquino is the selection. The closer, the 20-year-old. Looks like that might be a pretty good pick. Henry Aquino is the guy. Again, my scouts didn't find him. So Aquino is off the board. Oh my god, and you guys have those extra draft picks. I forgot about that. So Chris Santo at shortstop is gone, as is Cabrera as a reliever, and Shea McGinnis in right. One of the risky picks. As well, Chavez at third base, Batista in center, Costello at second, and Esposito at third. Sin, it's off of, essentially like an offer sheet system. You can't trade for picks, but it's offer sheet style. So, next pick belongs to Mr. Wheelchair. So that's the question. You guys have a great opportunity in the aftermath of the departing Ketel Marte to really do some damage here. It is up to Wheels. It is up to Wheels. Again, these are the guys that your scouts have set up, or at least that your scouts have as 80s. I feel like my scouts had a few more. But I mean, you know, I think you got to be looking at Rosario, Ingram, or take the risk with Wesley Mason. So we'll see who Wheels goes for. Again, the only issue with Mason is he's 24. Scroll over so you can see the OVRs as well. We shall see. He's going for Rosario. The starting pitcher, Jordan Rosario. I think that's a pretty damn good pickup there. Pretty good player. Pretty good player indeed. I'm sorry, I'm having to check something really quickly. Really quickly. Alright, I'm good. And you guys get another pick. So if you're wanting Wheels to take somebody else, you can ask Daniel to take that specific person. An incredible chance. If you were to ever risk it on someone like Mason, now would probably be the time to do it. Or you also go for Robbie Ingram to get another dynamite starter. At least for the guys showing up with 80 potentials. Those are the ones you want to target first before the 75s. What are you thinking? Oops. What will it be, Danielson? What will it be? He's going for Mason. You know, again, if you were to ever risk it, now would be the time. Wesley Mason is the pick. And a lot of players are going off the board now. So Terry Drew as a starter is gone. Johan Oliva in center. You got Armas at second. Daryl Manning in right. He was another risky right fielder. Hinojo at second. Bond, Jim Bond in right, as well as Bledsoe. Garcia at first base. Schultz at shortstop. Santana as a starter. Escalona in left. Emil Castro as a starter. Bastar at third base. And Shaw at second. So really quickly, I'm looking. Pretty much know who I'm going for. Yeah. Done deal. I am going to take the closer. Just kidding. We're going to go for the starting pitcher, TJ St. Louis. TJ, don't let me down, buddy. Don't let me down. Let's see who's off the board since. Ezra Gonzalez as a really good starter is gone. Johnny Anson at first base. Carlos Dorta as a reliever. Gina Ross at catcher. Johnny Velasquez at third. Gutierrez in left. Had him on my list. Dion Stein. And Garcia. So, the pick belongs to Buck. Buck, what are you thinking? Ingram certainly stands out. Ken Nettles, perhaps. Who will it be? Who will it be? The choice is up to Buck. It is a team effort. But he gets final say. He's going for Ingram. Robbie Ingram, 21 years old, apparently MLB caliber next year. Robbie Ingram, the starter, is the pick, and you guys have more compensation picks inbound. Holy fuck. Let's take a look at who's off the board. Murray Kendall at catcher, Hickey at first, Hemphill at second. Kingman in left, and Green as the starter. More compensation picks. You still have a couple of 80s on the board. The pick belongs to Hualia. To Old Warrior. Who's it going to be? Still got a lot of 75s up for grabs that you could look at. But you do still have those 80s up at the top in play that you could go for. Sanchez, the left fielder. He wants old Gary Sanchez. Solid pick. Solid pick. Gary Sanchez is the guy. You guys get another one. This time it's going to be Mr. Indignant Min. Indignant. Might this be the draft that finally wins you guys a freaking playoff series? Saying Nettle or Walsh. I can't imagine. Well, I mean, Walsh is 22 and maybe 4 years away, unless it's a different Walsh I wasn't seeing. I mean, I'd go Nettles personally. I mean, a project shortstop who might be even better. Might be worse, though. Seeing the support for Nettle. Will it be Nettle? Probably the last 80 potential dude worth the risk unless you go for the overager and Munoz. Ken Nettles. Looks like he'll need some work, but he is a young player. Nettle didn't see Walsh. There you go. Ken Nettles is the pick. You guys are going to have more compensation picks coming up. I will have one before that, thank God. Todd Little, as a reliever, is gone. So is Miguel Cabrera, the shortstop. And then Mathis, the second baseman. So for me, I can't fucking believe it. But Nunez is still there. And now is the time to take the reliever, Michael Nunez. No doubt. Third baseman McMahon's gone. Quinones as a starter. 2 more picks for Arizona, fuck's sake. 2 more picks. It's not going to be Buck again. It's got a name we haven't had yet. Catcher. Catcher, congratulations. The choice is yours. And Munoz and Osuna are the last in the 80s. Munoz is the overaged risk. Says, look at the closers again. It's Munoz or Willard Ramirez, and both are risky. Both are quite risky. He wants Willard. All right, he is going for Willard Ramirez. My scouts liked them more than yours did. We'll see who was right. It's another pick. Oh my God. It's going to be baseball is life. Baseball. Who's it going to be? Again, you have those 2 80s at the top. Both are pretty risky. Munoz because of his age. And then if you go down to the 75s, Delahanty's not really that great, but yeah, that's who you got. So you could risk it on one of those 2 80s, or those are the 75s that you're looking at. What will it be, baseball? What will it be? What will it be? One more call out to Baseball is Life. Kelly the catcher. So Eldon Kelly. Eldon Kelly is the pick. Not a bad one. Not a bad one. He was the final, or second to last, actually, catcher that I had on my list. After that, Guzman, the second baseman, is gone. Chris Clark, the shortstop. You also lose Gill at third base. Rodriguez as a reliever. Let's see. Cardenas in right. It's also pretty solid. You got Reed as a starter. Shout out to that dude for packing a Juan Soto. You got Benitez as a starter. Connie Walsh, the first baseman. Mendoza at center. Oh man, some of the solid options are leaving here. Seaver's gone. Delahanty at third base. Neville Thomas. I was gonna risk it on him next. Corona. Andreas Pena at second. Fletcher at second, and Carlson. All right, so the A's are up. Let's see who we got. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I'm gonna go for the risky. I can afford to risk it. I'm gonna be the one to risk it on Gene Munoz. I can risk it. I'm in the mood for a boomer bust draft. Why not? Bichette is gone from right. Davidson from left. Sidney Travis at first. Colbert at starting pitcher. Hoffman at second. Marshall at first. Walter Lee. Preston Harris at first base. Plank and Turner as relievers. And Nieve as a starter. Arizona up again. The pick belongs to... Honestly, I think we're out of names. Unless... If Ann Gad is there... Ann Gad or the Real Effects. Whoever comments first on who they want. It will be Ann Gad or the Real Effects. First come, first serve. You do have a lot of 70s left, but in terms of the highest rated dudes, those are it. Those are it. Decent options: Brian Yang, Tom Chang. Tom Chang is probably looking like the most solid here, if we're being honest. If we're being honest. But he's going indeed for Tommy Chang. So Tom Chang is the pick. Let's see who's left after that. Hinkle as a reliever. Getz as a second baseman. Lewis as a reliever. Lloyd in center. Harold Wilson as a reliever. Evan Cooper at third base. You got Chow and Cruz as relievers. Sanchez as a catcher. Dougherty, Woodson, Fields, Bass. Watson's gone as a catcher. Edwards and Madsen. And Ross Weinstein. All right. Well... I will be the one to risk it on Brian Yang. I will put your scout's information to the test. Alright. Malanka's gone. Hughes, Webb, Martin. You got Stacy, Polito, McCollum, Gutierrez, Carter, Valentine, and Gomez. Valentine. Do you guys get another pick? You do. Well, Jesus. So, put it this way. You know, Osuna's not that good. I mean, he's a project. You know, if that ETA drops with the full report, he could be worth it. We are actually out of entries into the... Oh, nope, we're not. Endo Mills, the choice is yours. Endo Mills, the choice is yours. Congratulations on the late entry. The choice is yours, Mr. Mills, and then the, you gotta look at the 70s. So, Endo gets that final choice. So yeah, above Jones is Hansen and Osuna. And then that is it. For 70s. What do you need the most? It's the fucking 5th round, just pick. You can't draft for need in the 5th round. Unless you're the Ottawa Senators. Unless you're the Ottawa Senators, you're not drafting for need in like the 4th or 5th round. Who will it be, sir? Who will it be? It's the longest amount of time ever taken on a late round pick. All right, Osuna's the guy. Julio Osuna. All right. Oh, we are up next. Pretty much everybody I was interested in appears to be gone. Yep. Well, we are now at the point where it's best guess. I was hoping to not get there, but that's where we're at. Ferris, why not? Alright, you guys have reached your maximum number of picks. Yes, that can happen. So for me, might as well send it on Pedro Castro. There we go. Alright. Well, you guys had a metric butt ton of selections. As happens when you get those offer sheets. So we'll take a look at my draft first. We start off with Pablo Santiago, who is okay. 19B and a 71 is actually really good, but I was really hoping he'd be an A. So that's a good pick. It's a really good pick. TJ St. Louis is a massive disappointment. 21C and a 65. Thanks, Scouts. He's fine, but not great. Michael Nunez is phenomenal. 19B and a 65. Munoz was pretty shit. Yang was meh. Veras was meh. Castro is okay. So I had like 2 good picks. I had about 2 good selections. And I took all pitching, apparently. Not going to be difficult for you guys to have a better draft than that, I would say. We start off with Henry Aquino, who is 20B and a 65, which is okay, but not outrageously good. There's Rosario, 19B and a 63, good pick. For a between first and second round pickup. Mason is not good. So the boom or bust piss for the boom or buck pick for Mason didn't work out. Robbie Ingram, pretty solid. 21B and a 67. Gary Sanchez, 20C and a 65. That's okay. Nettles is 18B and a 50. Take him a long time to be ready. Ramirez, 22B and a 69. Nice. Kelly is 21C and a 68. Chang, 18C and a 59. Osuna is a 45 overall. Not a bad draft. No outright elite players, but, you know, good reinforcements. Good reinforcements, but nobody that is overly elite. I think that sums up both of our drafts, and I hate to say it, that might be the last draft that we do, because both of our teams are fucking terrible.